here, there are two things, schema. So there's something called schema evolution in Delta table. Okay. So schema evolution is nothing but it's the ability of Delta Lake to handle changes to the schema. As in, if there are new rows added or there's any change to the data type, how it handles it. So that is a schema evolution. So there are two types of schema evolution. Okay, one is additive evolution, and the second one is schema enforcement. Okay, so let's say what is additive evolution. So additive evolution is nothing but if in the new data frame, if we have additional columns, then without changing the existing schema, it will basically merge that schema also and will add a new column. That is additive evolution.
Can you
So
repeat that again? Sorry, I'm not catching that.
Sure. So let's say if we have an existing so let's say our delta table has three columns. Okay. Now and we have a data frame that has one additional column. So when we merge both the file or then what happens is it will if we are using additive evolution, it will basically add the fourth column to the delta table, and for the existing data it will add as it will have the value null, and the new data will have the value as per the data frame.
Oh, so the old one will have the fourth column will be null, and the new column it'll have the value. Okay.
Correct. So this is an example. So here, what happens is this is another way to convert delta table to a data frame. First, we are creating the delta table object. Then I'm calling 2df. That's how we create a data frame. So I'm showing you multiple ways. Okay, in each step, I'm showing you multiple ways to create a data frame. Yeah. Then here I'm
What is
adding
that
a new
2df?
column.
Sorry. Can you slow down? What is that 2df?
So basically, here what happens is we have converted it to a delta table object. Okay.
Okay.
So from the delta table object, if to convert it to a data frame,
Oh,
we are
data
using
frame 2df. Okay, data
yeah
frame. Okay.
2df. Yeah. Then so this function we already saw in the previous session. So with column is nothing but I'm adding a new column and I'm telling it
Okay.
my whatever is age column, double it
Okay.
as the new column. Then I'm saying is I have to write this data frame to the same location, but I'm saying that just merge the schema. I'm asking it to do additive evolution. Yeah. So one let me just execute this, and you will see that we are getting the additional column. So yeah, this is a bit complex, but yeah, we're going very slow actually. Okay, so here you see we are getting the new column, and it's twice their age. Okay. Now there is something called schema enforcement. So schema enforcement means that basically it will enforce the schema. All right. So if we have so this is where so let's say we have a fixed schema, and if we have an additional column in the incoming data frame, then we should not allow any merge or any operation. We should not allow that data to come into our delta lake because it has an additional column. We want to enforce the schema. So in that case, this is an example of schema enforcement. So the thing is, for additive evolution, we should use the merge schema. We should give an option and we should use a merge schema, then it does additive evolution. If you are not using that, and so here what I did is I added one more column and I did age into 4. So now our data frame has five columns, and our delta table has 4 columns. So here what happens is when I'm trying to insert it, it will throw me error that this is schema mismatch.
Okay.
That is schema enforcement.
Basically, it's not letting you.
Yeah. One second. It shouldn't let. Okay. What happened is I did not execute this. So our data frame is currently having 4 columns. So that's why it's let me run. Okay. Now we got
But I
this
can
error.
see.
So we should.
Okay.
Yes. If you are getting this error, then it means it has done schema enforcement. So to convert, so if you want to use additive evolution, just use option merge schema and set it to true. That's about additive evolution and then schema enforcement. Okay, this we already saw how to select, how to read from data frame. So now we're gonna see about time travel.
So I have a question, right? So for all the delta tables, so we only saw two functions, right? We saw like two use cases. Do you have a list of all the use cases that you will be using, like whatever, what are all the methods and the things for delta table? One
Yeah, yeah.
so time travel is another one. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, if you see, we have something called describe history delta dot table. This is nothing but this table name I'm giving it here. So if we describe the history, we will have multiple versions. Okay. So this is the first version. Then we did a merge. Then we did another merge, and then we merged as in we wrote it again. We added two columns, and we then so those are all the versions here, and we have the timestamps. So from describe history, you'll get all the details and all the operations that happen. Now here, you could give. This is basically time travel. We are asking it. I need from current version. I need the first version from the delta table. So if you remember, the first version will only be having 5 records.
Yeah.
Before the merge. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. Why is it showing 6 records? Yeah. This is the first
version 0, version 1. Okay.
0. Yeah. So we should be getting 5 records. So this is how we do time travel. And you can also use timestamp to do time travel. And there's something called restore table. So let's say we want to restore our current table to a previous version. Then we could use this code. Let's say we did something and then we want to roll back. In that case, we could give restore table delta and then give the path version as of, and then just give the version. This will basically restore our delta table to a previous version. Then here, what we are doing is we are basically using timestamp. So instead of version as of, we are using timestamp. That is happening here.
How will you know exactly which? Oh, you look at the table and you can find the timestamp, right? Okay, from there. Okay.
Correct. If you do describe history, and then you give the table name, and then you will get all the things that happen to the table. Then based on your particular transformation. So here, these are the things that happen inside. And then based on that, you decide the timestamp. So mostly you won't be using timestamp. Mostly you playing around with version as of and then number.